Hello, and welcome once again to another Coffee with Zeo. If you're brand new here, this is a more freeform, unscripted, podcasty sort of thing that we like to do on the channel around this time each month. Here's where we discuss the current state of NGS, as well as let you know what else I've been up to. Another odd-numbered month, another seasonal event. I liked what they did here with the limited quest, giving it a bit of backstory. This was actually very smart of them, timing this on the heels of the global PlayStation release. All the new PlayStation folks got themselves some nice goodies this month between the seasonal shop and the events that have been running. Nice little welcome package for our new friends. So of course a new platform means a surge in new faces, and that is very refreshing. It's actually been a lot of fun going on Twitch, watching someone who is maybe brand new to the game, get their feet wet, get a feel for it, get a feel for whatever class they're playing. It's also been a lot of fun meeting the newer folks here on YouTube. It's been really nice seeing more activity in the game, especially when you consider last month was pretty bleak. You had Waker come out at the beginning of the month, then you had that dip the next week thanks to Tower of Phantasy, and that continued well throughout the month. And then for those 3 weeks, the average viewership on Twitch was like in the 50s or 60s, something like that. Then we had a nice spike in the first few days of PlayStation launch. Now it's starting to level off again. But we're almost a month in, and I imagine the honeymoon phase is starting to wear off for some folks as they're getting leveled and geared up. So at Tokyo Game Show the other day, they gave us our first look at the new volcanic region, Stia. We don't really have much to go on here, but I will say this. It does look really nice with all the texturing and shaders added. I guess it's gonna be a pretty similar gameplay loop to Kavaris, but with a few twists here. Like, it's almost guaranteed that we're gonna have to farm some super hot zone that does environmental damage, kinda like Rayord Gorge. I didn't mind that too much, but there was literally no reason to fight any of the other mobs besides the Ancients. They could still have the Stia version of the Ancients drop their specific item that you need for the 8 or 9 star weapon, and then make it so the trash mobs outside drop small quantities of the other items you need. And then you have whatever the Stia version of Geolab and Cannonball is gonna be. Whatever it is, I hope it has some better loot beyond just some dolls-themed accessories. Geolab and Cannonballs were fun in their own rights, but didn't offer much in the way of rewards. Yeah, people want more enjoyable content, but they also want more incentive to actually do said content besides an infinitesimal chance at a weapon drop. Maybe give that quest a chance to drop 1 or 2 of Stia Ancient item or something else. Then maybe have emergency quests drop some of the other items from the get-go. That way people feel like they're working towards something. They're working to reach that goal no matter what activity they do in-game. Kaiser was a step toward that, but in my opinion their overall execution of it left a lot to be desired. That's always been a common thread with SEGA over the past 4 decades. They have cool ideas but fall flat on execution. As far as Stia itself goes, I'm actually more interested in where we go after this. I don't think we're completely done with Alpha. They definitely dropped hints about the barriers in the tower for a reason. Like maybe Dark Falls takes over the tower and the weather in all 4 regions just goes completely nuts, and then we finally have that rematch. But then things are still so screwed up after the fight that a new threat emerges, kicking off episode 2. It seems like this Dark Falls is capable of causing long-term environmental damage, judging by what happened in Kavaris. It used to be pretty and green, then Dark Falls came to town, now it's been a frozen hellhole for the past 100 years. Also, I do feel that Stia's position on the world map in relation to the other regions, plus whatever's in the center of there, has some significance. I've seen some of the stuff the data miners have dug up, and it looks pretty wild. So today they released the balance changes coming October 5th. Looks like Photon Blast are getting range and power buffs across the board. All in all, these look pretty solid, but I wish they'd buffed the potency of techniques like Gizon and done something with Shift and D-Band, like give it a potency boost. But I imagine there's going to be another big wave of tweaks coming with Stia. So what else have I been up to? Well, the FF5 tribute script is about 98% done. Just needs a little bit of polish. That's been a really fun rabbit hole so far, learning about how Ted Woolsey had the script practically done before they canned the project. And then there were like 2 or 3 more localization attempts that fell through. And then you have the story of the fan translation, which turned out better than the first official localization of the game. At first they were just replacing the Japanese text with English, but then they were running into text box size limitations. The dialogue boxes could only contain so many characters at a time, which is fine for the Japanese language, but not so much for English. Like a sentence written in Japanese would only take a few characters, but to translate that same sentence into coherent English, you would need a lot more letters, spaces included. So they actually had to reprogram the game to accommodate for that. If you look at the backstories of how a lot of our favorite games, movies, TV shows came into being, truth really is stranger than fiction. That stuff's always fascinated the hell out of me. I even learned a lot when I was researching for the PSO2 tribute, and it made me want to do deep dives for other games like that. So I shit you not when I say that truth really is stranger than fiction. Like the Metal Gear franchise, for example. If it wasn't for Snake's revenge, we probably wouldn't have Metal Gear Solid. So if you happen to be among the new folks joining us with PlayStation, how are you liking the game so far? Has it lived up to your expectations thus far? What are you hoping to see with Stia? You know how much I love chopping it up with you guys in the comment section and on the streams. Twitch.tv/Zeomantic. Come on by and hang out sometime. We'd love to have you. Anyway, that's gonna do it. As always, thank you so much for watching and for the continued support. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, to thine own self, be true. Until next time, farewell.